In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Hey-o, everybody. Welcome to the Steel Toe Evening Show. I'm Aaron. You know what I just realized before I started tonight is no Johnny tomorrow. I got kind of bummed about that. I was like, oh shit, I'm solo the rest of the week. We got 2 goals to hit. We got Wednesday, we got tonight, we got tomorrow morning. That's it. Tomorrow morning and Friday, I'm going to offer 60 minutes if we knock out numbers. That seems fair. Thursdays and Fridays, I have no evening shows, and honestly, until I pick the kids up from school, I don't have shit to do except the gym. That's an hour and a half, 2 hours. Why not give it to the paying customers, right? The people who have kept my lazy ass on the air the last 4 years. Why the hell not? Hope you're doing well. If you're in Minnesota, you are, I mean, this is the time of year, like no matter, we've had a very warm fall, but this is the day we always, when it's really warm in the fall and the early winter, we go, maybe we're going to get away with no snow this year, maybe. And it's never that way. But you think it. And shit, man, you get to November 20th. 30 days away from the first day of winter, and you're like, hey, maybe a snowless Christmas is a possibility. Well, today it's all over the place. It's blowing all over. I tell you what, man, that white powder is blowing around out there. It looks like a Rakeda bathroom. I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of that. I'm better than that. I'm better than that, and I will be better than that. And I apologize. Welcome to the show, everybody. We've got a great one for you today. We're going to make fun of people. We're going to laugh at some stuff. We're going to have ourselves a great time. It was, as far as my day goes, man, shit, Wednesdays are really just kind of show. Gym chores show. And that's kind of what I got a little bit of a nap in. I've been rewatching Mad Men lately. It's hard for me to watch Mad Men because even though it's one of my favorite shows, I have a hard time relating to the main character. Don Draper. Don Draper's a guy who married a woman, had affairs after he had 2 kids. Then they got divorced, but while they were getting divorced, there was a 3rd kid came around. Then after that, Don Draper found a much younger bride for his second bride, and he thought, this is it. I found it. This is heaven on earth. This is what I want. And he worked with her. They worked the same job together, but then that created a little bit of tension. And then eventually it just got into drinking and sexual degeneracy, and that marriage fell apart. And then he just kind of went on a soul-searching mission to find himself. So, yeah, I have a hard time relating to Don Draper. Don and I don't really see where his life and mine line up. I don't. He's got a lot more money than me, too. But again, we've got a great one today. Look, man, I have saved some of the View stuff for tomorrow. And look, God bless you guys for indulging me on my obsession with the View. But God, it is fun to watch. And I just watch clips. I go on Mediaite, I go on Twitter, I find the clips that way. But when it comes to the View, it's just, Schadenfreude is the perfect word for it. I mean, they're killing each other, they're screaming at each other, they're fighting each other over Trump. It's the best thing ever. But I also realized today when I was prepping the show that too much of a good thing, you can kind of overdose your audience. So I split the View stuff up between tonight and tomorrow morning. So we'll do a little bit about the one for tomorrow morning is probably going to be the longer one. It's where Whoopi Goldberg has to basically go to commercial to separate Sonny Hostin and Alyssa Farah because the girls are fighting with each other in the post-Trump world that they all tried to prevent. The girls are trying to figure out what the hell went wrong, and darn it to hell, nobody knows. Hey, Kiff, thank you for becoming a Steel Toe Bro and starting us off tonight. Thank you, buddy. The morning show, that audience was really generous this morning. They did a great job. We've had a perfect week so far. We haven't missed a single goal. I appreciate that. 170 away from tonight. I say what? The no begging rule should be if we get under 150 by 8 o'clock by the top of the hour, no begging. No begging. Absolutely not. Doomclone says the View is rage bait and Aaron be biting. Am I though? Like I enjoy it. I have a great time watching it. I don't get upset. They get upset. For me, it's more Schadenfreude bait. And that you put that bait on your hook, I'm biting all day. Buffalo Jockey says, save the View for Johnny. He relates to crying bitches. See, now that's not very nice. That's not. How was Johnny's show today? Did he do a good job? Did you guys have some fun over there if you were watching Johnny today? Again, Just Kidding LLC on YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble. Go check it out. 2 o'clock Central Time every day. Billy Bob Norris says Mad Men was too on the nose in terms of economics, corporate America, feminism, sexual politics. The writers laid it on too thick. Yeah, that was always Corey's complaint about Mad Men too, why he didn't like it. And I understand that. I thought it was a well-written show, like storyline-wise. But you're right. The hey, it's the 60s, get it? They poured that on a little thick. They poured the, remember when, some of the member berries, like, oh, look, that lady's pregnant and she's smoking a cigarette and drinking wine. Oh, man, remember when we used to do that? Oh, look, the kids are in the back seat playing with no seatbelts on. Oh, remember when people used to do. Just kind of, I get it. I love the show, but they lay it on pretty thick. Chad Buzamok becoming a member for 4 months. He says, you're more like Yawn Draper. You can't criticize a guy for saying that to you because he just paid you like $3-4 a month to support what you're doing. He gets to call you Yawn Draper. That's the deal. That's why we have the YouTube set to the fan funding tab. The only people I want to hear from are the people who feel like contributing to the show. Rumble chat, that's the free chat. That's where the free people go, is there on the Rumble chat. All right, guys, let's get started. As we said, 170 is our number for tonight. Go ahead and throw in a few bucks. Like we said, we're only 2 goals left for the week, and this is one of them. Let's do this Ohio thing first. I didn't want to go to news stories and politics and this talking head said this and this talking head said that. Michael Corleone said this, Michael Corleone said that. Let's go and see a little local story out in Ohio. People are still 2 weeks later reacting to the election, and not everybody has adjusted to life after Biden. Some people are still having a tough time accepting what happened. Other people are having a hard time even passively accepting what happened, like this woman here, a school board member in a town in Ohio. Doesn't she just look like fun? Doesn't she just look like a great time? I bet you get her at a party, you get a couple of drinks in her. She's just a hoot and a half. Ugh, she's going to be unbearable, isn't she? Mr. Me with $2 says, how much to box Johnny? Heard he was talking shit on you. Oh, I'll do it for free to teach that boy a lesson. Thank you, Mr. Me. All right, let's check out what this lady's malfunction is.
You reminded me of this. I really think it's worthy of our consideration to not schedule.
Oh, wait, it's a fat lady. Oh, this unlikable shrew didn't say anything wrong. I apologize to her. She might be okay. It's the fat woman who's angry and upset. I apologize.
It's worthy of our consideration to not schedule our board meetings immediately after the election.
They don't want to have the board meetings right after the election. Do you think she'd have this same position if Kamala Harris was the winner? If it was Madam President-elect? Do you think she'd say, guys, I really don't know if having these meetings right after the election is really the best idea. For the kids, really.
Because we did this last year, and I remember we had the exact same conversation where we were all still kind of lethargic and wounded, and I don't think that makes us super productive.
Lethargic and wounded, what did you have to do? Go through the Amazon rainforest before you voted? You walked in, you filled in your little circle, or you connected the lines, or you pushed a button, whatever you do in the place you're in. And Bob's your uncle, you're done. What are you exhausted and wounded and hurt from? Watching TV? Oh my God, we need Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on this whole getting us healthy thing as soon as possible. If we got this tub of goo sitting there saying, oh man, I'm just so wiped out and exhausted. From what? Oh, just snacking and watching TV till 1 a.m. You know what, ma'am? You're right. You know what? Meeting adjourned. We're going to hold this one later in the week. This sounds like injury.
So I think if we shift that board meeting to the week before or, another week after and give us more time, it would only be twice a year. I think it would be worth considering.
Why would it be twice a year? Election. Isn't there only one election? What the fuck is wrong with Ohio? Are they having to? Oh, they have the election for their elected leaders, and then election for. They get all the immigrants together and vote for tastiest yard duck.
That's a good idea.
Not that I don't disagree, but again, hopefully we're not predicting that we're going to be on the ballot every November.
Even if we're not, I think
Oh, they're talking about their school board. Oh, so I'm guessing like they voted for a referendum. They had to vote for their school. They had to run for their school board seats. And they're like, oh man, we're just so tired from kissing these people's asses and lying to them that we need a break. You know what I say as a parent and as a parent with kids in public schools? Here's what I say. Get your ass back to work. It's not even your job. It's a part-time thing, this school board shit.
in this particular case, a presidential election can also be stressful. So
Sure.
I don't think it's just our issue. I know it's been hard. My kids asked even, this is a whole different train of, but they said, Mom, why we should have gone to school Monday and had off Tuesday, Wednesday.
Of course Jesus, woman. Of course your kids said that. You remember when you were a kid and any excuse to get a day off of school, you would take it? I didn't know what the fuck a teacher workshop day was, but I was sure as hell glad we had them. Oh, my kids came to me, guys. You wouldn't believe this. You know what my kids did? My kids came to me and they were angling to get days off of school. This clearly shows that our priorities are messed up.
Because from what I heard, things kind of got ugly at some of the schools in regards to the election results.
Oh, yeah?
So
What happened? Again, I can't wait to hear what ugly was. I'm going to guess some kids wore MAGA hats, some kids like Trump, and if Harris would have won the election, this woman probably would have been fine with the celebrating.
Same story of, it doesn't matter if it's the levy or not, but are there ways we can schedule better
She jumped into the levee and the levee went dry.
around major events?
That resonates. I think that makes sense.
You mean they were having a hard time at school after the election?
I heard at the middle school that the staff had to step in and tell the kids to knock off the conversations because they were aggressive or heated. Sorara reportedly was chanting Trump, Trump, Trump.
Fucking base little kids. Nice. We need to stop this nonsense before somebody gets hurt.
There were things that were out of control.
Yeah.
And I understand why it happened. I'm not holding the teachers accountable in any way. I'm just.
Well, no, we know that. You're on the school board. The last thing a school board is designed to do is to hold teachers accountable. They'll just call the kids and parents retards and call it a day.
Saying maybe we all need space on those kinds of issues.
Jesus. We are fucking pussies. I bet you there were people who came home from like Guadalcanal and Iwo Jima, and when they came back from fighting in World War II, they had their regularly scheduled school board meeting. Like they just went to it. They're like, I saw 1,300 people just gutted by bayonets in front of me, but we got to figure out this levy thing. And what do you guys think about getting abacuses in every classroom? We got to get this going. God damn, man. You guys get your shit together. You're making it. Now, I wouldn't mind this and I would just laugh like this, but you kind of make us all look like bitches. And this is why so many countries don't have free and fair elections. Like, we would find out how much Russians couldn't handle it if Putin let them actually decide who leads them. This is what happens to people. They get all fucking goofy. It's like, oh, some of the kids were chanting Trump. They're transing too. Some of the kids were chanting Trump. Yeah, some of them are going to do that. It happens. Are you going to ban kids from coming to school on the Monday after football games because some of them are going to be chanting for the wrong team? Shut up. You're going to be fine. Oh, but I had to run for my school board seat. Nobody knew who you guys were. People vote. Here's what happens with school board votes. Most people just go, oh, which yard sign did I see the most of? You know, they look at the school board voting and they go, oh, I recognize that name. Here, I'll vote for him. That's how school board voting goes. So then you guys go, oh, we have to have the day off. Oh, we can't do a meeting the day after an election. We just, it's too hard to even. Let's go to Buffalo Jockey. He gives $1 and he says, the fat lady, a.k.a. the lady that weighs as much as you. That's fucking hurtful, dude. That's really hurtful. I didn't think that was I didn't think it was necessary, to be quite frank with you. You know what? I'm calling it right now. Over the goddamn line. Uh-oh, people are saying Muttering Jay's a pedo apologist. I bet you. That just comes with the territory of hating me. I've tried to educate these people. I tried to tell people like Muttering Jay, I'm like, dude, you know that like I'm a hateable guy. You can just hate me. But he's like, no, I have to throw in with the pedo guy. Look, man, I didn't even have to try to help, but I did. The rest is on their soul, I suppose. Chelino with $5 says, can I get my wrench back since I didn't get my wallet? Is that fucking thing coming back to me again? It better not. How do you get a fucking thing to Canada? You know how many fucking pieces of paper I filled out to send that wallet to Canada twice now? God damn it, Chelino. No, it's not your fault. I'm not yelling at you. That damn wallet has come back once, maybe twice. This might be the third time that damn wallet has come back to me. Chelino, here's what I need you to do. I think I know what the problem is. You need to send me a DM where I need like your full name. I need your actual real name, your actual address. They give me this piece of paper. I got to fill out all this stuff. I put your name down as Chelino because that's all I had. But they legit want your like full information. I'm guessing that's why it keeps coming back. I maybe your government or my government thinks that I'm sending you terrorism materials. I don't know. But send me everything. Send me everything you got. I mean, not your social security number and your banking information. But Jesus Christ. I filled that fucking piece of paper out at least twice now. Yeah, Buffalo Jockey, you're right. I might just have to deliver the damn thing in person. I live in Minnesota. He lives in Canada. That's funny, though, because we've sent stuff to Australia. We've sent stuff to Ireland and Germany. And it's all worked out. You know what? April sent that shit out. I bet you I am fucking something up then. It is my fault. April's Missing Orgasm said, is snow falling in St. Cloud or just snowballing? I don't know the difference between snow falling and snowballing. Cholino, DM me on Twitter. Now it's fucking personal. I'm going to get that I'm going to send out that fucking wallet and it's not coming back to me. I sent that out like 2 weeks ago again. It came back. Kiff with 199 says, don't send your Google login, Cholino. That's right. Oh, yeah. I don't, again, I can't talk too much about it, but there was another thing that I sent in today that the response I got back was, thank you. This is irrefutable and beyond a reasonable doubt. And I was like, nice. Look at me just being a good little helper. Pants Maestro says, I can't DM you. I need my wrenches, Aaron. What do you mean? What do you mean you need? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Pants Maestro, what's your name on Twitter? I'll follow you. I'm going to send you 2 Craftsman wrenches for your generosity. Send me here. Pants Maestro, get me right here. There we are. Email that. And then we'll go ahead and we'll get you your 2 wrenches. No Pen 15 Fathead becoming a member for 27 months. Says, I still haven't received Shaka. Shut the fuck up. Yes, you have. You lying bastard. I hate that shit. Yes, you did. All of that shit got sent out back during the summer. You little dickhead. I hate that now everybody's just trying to snitch and rat. You motherfuckers. 165 away from today. Thank you very much. I want to hear not Concrete Raisin. Who was it who got the old backdrop? I want to hear him say, I never got the backdrop because I personally handed it to that dude. You little so-and-so. All right, guys, 165 away from tonight. Cholino says, so, wrench, are you going to fuck around? No. Did you have a wrench before? All right, guys, I'm giving Cholino a wrench. If he starts fucking around, you let me know. You DM me. And we'll take care of Cholino. He's on a probationary period. I'll tell you that much. Thank you, Cholino, for the $7. I appreciate that. Now, get back in touch with me. Write in, DM me, or email me. I need name, address, state. That fucking piece of paper is like, you'd think I was sending the guy heroin. And it's Minnesota. It's going over an invisible line. It's Minnesota into Canada. And if you don't fill that paperwork out perfect, comes right back to you. Plus, the way Canada does addresses is all fucked up. Look at me not believing in borders anymore. Like, I voted for Trump, and I'm like, we got to enforce immigration. Now I'm anti-borders because I'm too retarded to send mail. Oh, man. Let's go to MGHs. They're putting the mRNA COVID vaccine in your food. You need to do this right now. Well, I would guess it's take a shit. No, Las Tejas, I'm not sending legal documents internationally. Stave with $5 says, let's get this goal, guys and gals. I need 60 minutes of overtime. Not doing 60 minutes of it. It says 30. That's Stav's new gimmick. I like it. 160 away from today. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate all of your contributions. You're all fine people. All right, more stuff to get to tonight. I like this one. Doompill says, to be fair, our agencies are full of cheats, so everything is hard to navigate. Tejas says, you want him to send like a license and credit cards and shit? No, Zumach needs that information. I'm good. But Zumach needs the credit card info. Hey, we got a verdict. God, is it just me or was that Laken Riley trial just real quick? I suppose, like, they had the guy dead to rights. There's nothing he was going to do. I think it was like, what, a 3-day trial? They had a verdict today in the Laken Riley trial. And, well, here, let's just play it for you.
Ibarra, illegal alien, accused of killing Laken Riley, hearing the verdict now. Let's watch.
3. Count 1, malice murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 2, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 3, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 4, felony murder.
Any guesses? Any guesses on this fourth count? I think this could be the one where he skates. I think now, the reason the judge is saying I find him is, I guess the defendant requested a bench trial, which, I mean, okay.
I find the defendant guilty.
Ah!
Count 5, kidnapping with bodily injury.
Kidnapping with bodily injury. Now, maybe, who knows? Maybe the definition is loose. Maybe this is the one where he gets a not guilty. Come on. What do we got?
I find the defendant guilty.
Well, shit. You know, I maybe should have saw that one coming.
Count 6, aggravated assault with intent to rape. I find the defendant guilty. Count 7, aggravated battery. I find the defendant guilty.
Starting to think this guy did it.
Count 8, obstructing or hindering a 911 call. I find the defendant guilty.
Count 9, helping Trump get elected in a landslide. I find the defendant guilty. I mean, this was kind of the thing that jump-started the whole immigration conversation, was this Laken Riley thing. I mean, it was out of hand before that, but this was the one that really, people were like, they're fucking, these Venezuelans and shit are coming over the border, these gangs. They're just maliciously and in cold blood murdering people. Fuck that. We got enough people murdering people who were born here. We don't need to import more murderers. So let's shut her down. Gray Duckling with $2 says free housing and health care. Well, that's true, yeah. But what do you want to do? Deport him, cut him loose, and then, possibility that he comes back over, kills somebody else?
Count 9, tampering with evidence. I find the defendant guilty. Count 10, peeping Tom. I find the defendant guilty.
That is, that one, when you read the list of things you're charged with, it's the peeping Tom one where you go, well, I guess we should really focus on our defense on these other 9 charges. They seem really important. The peeping Tom charge isn't something that's really a priority at the moment. There you go. The judge ended up sentencing him to life in prison without parole because he was found guilty. I don't know if the death penalty was in play for this deal. So I don't know. I think this, some people are, Jesus Christ. Some of the suggested sentencing that people are coming up with in our chat is, it would be effective. Brett Mack says, where was the country of origin? I think he was Venezuelan. Doompill says he should have requested a Frank's hearing. You dick. Peeping Tom is... Yeah, Taste Fairy, that's what I thought, too. I didn't know Peeping Tom was a legal term. I didn't know you could be charged with Peeping Tom. I thought Peeping Tom was a thing we just called people who were perverts. Apparently, unbeknownst to the rest of us, Peeping Tom is a thing. So he's going away for good. Doesn't bring Laken Riley back, obviously. It's kind of a moot point in that regard, but at least there was some modicum of justice done. But cold comfort, I suppose, for the family, for everybody else. Yeah, Von Kaiser, they actually dropped count 12, which was being a jerk. They dropped that one. $160. away from tonight's goal. There's the Streamlabs, the PayPal, the Venmo. Let's fucking knock that thing out, man. Moving nicely. Thank you. Puerto Rican prostate puncher. Now, I said this isn't going to bring back Laken Riley. He says, not with that attitude. Sorry. I apologize for not, having a little more can-do energy with in regards to Laken Riley coming back from the dead. Sam Show says there's always necromancy. Los Tejas Synthesizer says count 13, 609.746, interference with privacy. You're going to have to wait a while on that one, as things take a little while to develop. I would say give it 4 to 6 weeks. Oh, man. Did we just do Laken Riley coverage and you guys turned it into trying to perform a resurrection? Bravo. Buffalo Jockey with $1 says we should execute him following one of George Carlin's suggested death penalty ideas. When I was a kid, for some reason, that whole segment on the death penalty from the Back in Town special made me laugh so hard, but I don't know why this got me so much. It was just the abruptness of it. When George Carlin said, I got an idea for killing a guy. You load a guy into a catapult and you launch him right into a brick wall. I was like, for some reason, like 12-year-old me thought that was the funniest possible thing anybody could ever say. Numero uno Josh Denny fan with $1 says you got to check out this amazing clip. All right, you're I'll bite numero uno.
This guy, so he's been trying to run the MLC chat for a long time. He's come to see me in 2 different states, 2 different cities, never introduced himself. Kind of creepy. He's been very, very judgmental of me. He's been kind of a dick to me, to be honest with you. He's contributed here and there. Well,
is fucking Zumach shitting on his contributors? People give you money. You don't fucking call them creepy and weird and all that shit. You do that to the people who are legitimately creepy and weird and a little too obsessed with the internet, like Muttering Jay, for example. I only saw a title of this one. I saw that I got to the pretty antisocial girls. They had to pretend that I was raging at them. Girls. Loosen up your hair a little bit, sweetheart. We were fucking with you. You guys had really shitty takes and you don't know what you're talking about. So we busted your balls. He was raging. Huh? I don't think you 2 girls and a guy raging have ever been in the same sentence. But good luck with your little show, ladies.
He super chatted Steel Toe a while back. And it got back to Kevin Brennan. Kevin Brennan was not pleased.
What the fuck? Gustav can't super chat my show? Gustav just super chatted me again the other day. There's nothing wrong with that. If Gustav wants to send $500 to Chad Zumach and he wants to send me $10, go ahead, do that. Who gives a shit? I don't like this. I don't like this possessiveness over donors. You should be able to donate to whoever you want to, and you shouldn't be publicly shamed for it, because now what Chad is doing is he might be fucking with Kevin's money or Chad's own money, because if Gustav gives to Kevin or if Gustav gives to Chad, and now all of a sudden Chad says, well, fuck this Gustav guy, he's giving to Steel Toe. Now this Gustav might decide, well, I don't want to give to anybody because it feels like a lot of pressure. I feel like I get yelled at all the time. So I don't know if this is the smart way to go. Gustav is always welcome here at Steel Toe.
Was not pleased. So Gustav comes back and says, you know what? I'll never, ever, ever, ever super chat Steel Toe again.
Which is fine. If Gustav doesn't want to give money to Steel Toe ever again, that is A-okay with me. I want Gustav to have a good time watching the shows he likes.
Was just toying with him. So I don't know if it's because of the legend and because of Gustav's rivalry and Kevin Brennan being very vocal about it. Look what happened on today's.
Uh-oh.
Wait, is this it?
Uh-oh.
This might not be the clip.
Come on. Numero uno, did you just dog walk me through that whole fucking clip just for at the end it to go, oh, wait, this might not be it. Thanks, buddy.
This happened on today's Steel Toe morning show. This was brought to my attention by one of my people. I never, this guy.
You fucking dick. So it doesn't actually get to the actual clip of the thing. You just dog walked me through that. I don't know, man. I think, Gustav is welcome here anytime. And I don't care if you donate to my show and you donate to other people's show. That's totally fine. Man, I encourage you to support. If you like a show, you should support the creator. If you watch me, throw me a couple bucks. If you support Kevin, throw Kevin a couple of bucks. If you support Sean or Meme Copium or the Casino Boys, throw them a couple bucks, Support your local streamer, as it were. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan with $1 says he clipped and posted it. Yeah, that is kind of weird that you would clip and post you fucking up your clip. Numero uno with another $1 says the main thing is the quality of the clip is hilariously bad. He's been posting lots of these lately. Slow Joe with $4.99 says working the second job at Shady's, enjoying the show. Love the boys at Shady's. Congratulations on working hard, my man. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan with $1 says this is a clip Chad made on his channel. Oh. So he thought, I have to admit, though, at least he's doing that. I've been really fucking lazy on my clips. I wanted to do the Young Turks thing. I think I wanted to do a Johnny Somali thing, and I haven't gotten around to doing them. I'm a lazy dickhead when it comes to that stuff. Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you sending that in. I appreciate the money as well. 155 is our number for tonight. Hey, keep it going, guys. You guys are knocking it down a little bit at a time. That's pretty awesome. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, gifted memberships. Thanks, guys. 155. Keep her going. Rusty Grammar says, hell yeah, brother, capitalism. Yeah, it's all capitalism. That's what we're about over here. Let's go ahead. Let's just make this quick announcement. I don't really have a story on this, but I am a little confused by it. Linda McMahon, Vince McMahon's wife, has been named Trump's pick for Secretary of Education, which is strange because I thought Trump said he was going to get rid of the Department of Education, which would be great. We'd save hundreds of billions of dollars, and every state already has a Department of Education, so you can get school choice. You can get all kinds of stuff. You can have each state kind of be in an incubator, an experiment room for different types of education of kids, see who does it better, and, use some of their ideas and throw out some of the bad ones. I was kind of counting on Donald Trump nuking the federal Department of Education. So what's with Linda McMahon getting the job? Is she going to be like the last Secretary of Education? That would be all right. In 1979, Jimmy Carter started the Department of Education. Not everybody knows that. Everybody thinks these government departments have been around forever. Like, even though it was created in our lifetimes, there's a lot of people who think that the Department of Homeland Security has just been around forever. Nope. Created in this century. But 1979, Jimmy Carter created the Department of Education. The U.S. has gone from first in the world in education to 24th since then. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that the federal government will issue these edicts from on high about what schools need to do. They don't know the reality of what's going on the ground. They don't know anything about the community, anything about the area. They just go, hey, this is what we want to do. Go do it. They don't have to pass it through Congress. It's just a wave of a wand. And now these local schools have to go do this shit that the federal government wants them to do. And then when the schools go, hey, this costs a lot of money. How much money are you giving us for it? The government goes, fuck you, none. And then that's how your property taxes go up, and you get all of these, what do you call them, these referendums and these bond agreements, and these schools spending money hand over fist because they're made to. So I would love it if the Department of Education on the federal level was done away with and we could just do it ourselves. That would be great. Doompill says, to be fair, they're flooding the schools with primitive Bone Age mongoloids. Doompill, I'm sure there was a more politically correct way to say that. But you're right. It's just a waste of time to figure it out. What is that? Primitive Bone Age mongoloids. I think he means intellectually disadvantaged children. That's what he meant to say. I had a no Lost Chaos synthesizer. He didn't mean, quote, darkies. That, really, the morning show audience may be larger by about 2 to 1. But you evening show people are like a harder to watch group of kids. You guys are the smaller daycare class, but you require more attention. Jesus. Doompill says, yes, I did. No, you didn't mean darky. Stop it. You did not mean that. Sam Show says, no, what he meant was dipshit gay F words. Now, he didn't mean that either. Numero uno Josh Denny fan says, better not do it. Better to not do it than do it that bad. None of his viewers are commenting on the quality. Are they all gaslighting him? Says numero uno. No, I think that part of the internet just has low standards. They just thrive on, as long as there's drama, they're happy. They don't care how it looks. They're slop eaters. Buffalo Jockey with $1 says, you believed him when he said he was going to abolish the Department of Education? Yikes. Well, maybe that is my fault. Maybe that is my fault. Numero uno Josh Denny fan is now saying, hey, you didn't know he didn't mean darkies. Now, I was giving Doompill the benefit of the doubt. But apparently I jumped to conclusions, and you know what? That's my fault. One of the more interesting conversations I ever remember having in the radio business is I remember talking to my boss at KLFD in Litchfield, and we were having a conversation that we literally knew that we couldn't have in front of anyone else because what we were saying was accurate and it was correct, but it was horrible. We were talking about how mentally challenged kids shouldn't be allowed to go to like regular public schools. Like they should either just be kept at home or they should go to like some kind of daycare place. Like even like the 13, 14, and 15-year-old ones. Because we were just like, we're spending all this money on these kids who don't have the mental capacity to learn anything. I'm talking about the ones who like, they'll never learn past first grade level or whatever. Why are we spending money? Why are we taking taxpayer dollars to have them like, it's basically like taking a dog for a drag. Like you want to take your dog for a walk, but he's not cooperating. So you're just dragging the fucking dog. And by the way, these were the terms we used. And this is why we were like, yeah, we can never tell anyone we had this conversation. Because we're saying like, it's like literally they can't learn anything. They don't know anything. It's useless to spend money on them. They're a waste to the system. And it's like taking your dog for a drag. And there were times where we'd be agreeing with each other and our voices would go up and we'd both go, shh, 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 keep it. It's a place of business, for God's sake. You can't. It's not Third Reich in here, but it's getting Third Reich adjacent, and should probably ixnay on the etard ray, as it were. Numero uno Josh Denny fan says, so you're pro-abortion then? Got it. I'm not. Look, I think you're killing a baby, but I am also not going to stop you, which may be like the most horrifying position on abortion ever. I understand that. But have you ever tried to argue with one of these abortion broads? It's better just to go do whatever the fuck you want. I got bigger fish to fry. Deutsch Chad says buy 1,000 acres per state and make them free-range tards. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying sending them to conventional schools seems like a waste of resources that we could use to better educate the other children. Now, see, I'm looking at the Rumble chat, and a lot of you are just getting this wrong. You're misrepresenting what I'm trying to say. Puerto Rican prostate puncher says Aaron is pro-baby and microwave. That's not at all what I said. Buffalo Jockey says not letting them in schools is not offensive. The fact that we're not giving to pharmaceutical companies to be used as lab rats is offensive. See, now that, again, that is not what I said. You guys are running with my very non-controversial opinion, and you're making it something that I didn't see. You're basically saying, yeah, Aaron, I agree with you, and then repeating a point that I never made. It's not fair. Sam Show says the right people are using it. Let them use it. I don't know what you mean. Oh, abortion. Well, easy there, Margaret Sanger. Puerto Rican prostate puncher says turds do travel in herds. Tards do travel in herds. I didn't say that. I did not say that at all. Ivana Tinkle says camps. We need camps. That's not what I don't want to hear anyone go, Aaron was right, put them in camps. That's not. No. Puerto Rican prostate puncher, I didn't say they were called a gaggle of tards either. I don't think there's a phrase that we're supposed to be using. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan with $1 says, is it true those convos started after your boss met Matt? No, this was in Litchfield. This is back when I was in my early 20s. This was a different time, a different place. All right, boys and girls, what are we, about 150 away from tonight's goal? It's our last evening show goal of the week. Go ahead and throw in $5 or $10 to help us knock it out. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's christen the PayPal or let's christen the Venmo tonight. I appreciate it, as usual. You guys are the best. We are one more goal away from having ourselves a perfect, and I mean a perfect week of evening shows. See, again, I didn't say a lot of these things. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan says he didn't say camps. He said rooms. I didn't say rooms. I don't think I'm communicating these positions I have appropriately. XJX says Aaron is going to start trafficking retards like they're Asians. Now I have to deny two things at once. Ross Dog's Broken Spirit says parents just don't want their special needs kids at home. It's exhausting and soul killing. I'm sorry to say, but I've seen it. And then he misspelled it, which is going to make people talk, I think. No, Puerto Rican prostate puncher. I did not say tards need rooms. Chernobog says a group of lions is called a pride. A group of tards should be called a disappointment. You know what? Fuck it. I'm offended. You guys have now begun to offend me tonight. All right, we're moving on. That was a good time. Yeah, you guys are fun. You guys are writers. You guys should get a writer's credit on tonight's show. 150 away. Knock it out. Let's call it a win for the toe. Let's see how things are going in Congress. You know, we've been watching a lot of people lashing out on the news. We've been watching people lash out at Joe and Mika, people lashing out at The View. We've been watching Democrats attack Democrats. But, you know, I'm sure that in Congress things are better. I'm sure we're going to Congress and we're finding all of the responsible people. Like, let's check in with Representative Jasmine Crockett, who spoke, I believe yesterday on the House floor. Let's let Miss Crockett talk. She's a Democrat. She'll calm everybody down, and this country can begin to heal.
It's because you can then misuse words like oppression. There has been no oppression for the white man in this country.
Whoops. Okay, well, maybe not. I mean, maybe she'll bring us back together, but she's going to bring us back together to hunt the white man, which I have to say that doesn't bode well for me. But that, you know, I hate that argument where they're like, there's been no oppression for the white man. All right, well, some white men have faced oppression. Just because you have white skin and you're a male doesn't mean you've never been oppressed. You can be. But I understand as a group, you're saying they haven't been. Okay, it's fine. But this is my problem with liberal politics and modern progressive politics. They want to bring everyone down to even. What we should be doing is bringing everyone up to even. You know, so a woman like this will say, oh, white people have never faced oppression, so we have to make laws that give this person a head start over a white person. It's like, so wait a minute. white people have never felt oppression. So instead of not oppressing other people anymore, you want to take people who have, and then lifting those people up, you want to take people who you feel have never been oppressed and start oppressing them. You're going to have to help me understand that. I'm sorry.
You tell me which white men were dragged out of their homes. You tell me.
Julian Assange? I mean, that's one, right? Aaron Hernandez is Latino. Oh, shit. There's that. Epstein? He's Jewish. That doesn't.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
And you guessed it, a Jew.
Which one of them got dragged all the way across an ocean and told that you are going to go and work? We are going to sit.
Hey, we bought him fair and square from the other black guy. He said they were good stock. His words. Well, not his word. His words were like, but we had an understanding.
Your wives. We are going to rape your wives. That didn't happen.
Holy shit. Well, glad I got rid of mine. That would have been remarkably uncomfortable. I don't know. Did you have an 8-ball? You might not have needed to. I'm sorry. I tried to be nice. I was going on for months and months saying, I hope she gets better. I hope she gets away from a toxic place and a toxic person and an abusive person. I hope she gets away from all that shit. And then she starts popping off at the mouth and, you know, probably under the influence of something and going off on Twitter. No, sorry. Sorry. You lost my kindness. Enjoy your narc abuse. That's why I get a kick out of Nick still carrying this like blood feud with me. It's like, you understand none of us would be here if you hadn't given April coke. Like, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
And that is oppression. We didn't ask to be here. We not the same migrants that y'all constantly come up against. We didn't.
I hear Liberia's nice. Isn't that what Liberia was? Wasn't that a country founded by American slaves who said, now that we're free, we're getting the fuck out of here and starting our own country? We were brought over here on a boat. I know. Remind us. I didn't get a vote I didn't get a say so.
We didn't run away from home. We were stolen. So yeah, we are going to see.
Okay, who were you stolen by? Not like these white people just came around with nets like they were shrimping and just caught you. Who rounded you up first?
Here and be offended when you want to sit here and act like and don't let it escape you.
It's escape. Escape, not escape. That's escape with an S first. This is not, I mean, we've had this talk before. It's not difficult.
That it is white men on this side of the aisle telling us, people of color on this side of the aisle, that y'all are the ones being oppressed.
Well, I mean, have you ever had to listen to one of your speeches? In fairness, I mean, they raise a point. You know, one thing about her party not being in charge anymore, I'm not saying the Republicans are going to fucking fix everything, but one thing about her party not being in charge anymore, it'll be really nice not to hear these fucking speeches incessantly, you know? To not have to constantly hear the whinging and the whining and the complaining when things don't go your way. Kiff with 199 says, make asylums great again. That's not what I said. And somebody pretending to be that Moody guy. By the way, that Moody guy is a creep. Not only does he defend pedophilic remarks, but he's also said some weird stuff about AICP. And he works with kids like that. I still say that should be brought up. I still say that's something that needs to get addressed. But somebody's pretending to be him in the chat. That's very funny. 199. He says super tips will take your show and profits sky high. I don't want the blood on my hands of what you guys are up to and all that. I mean, I gotta say, bro, you're looking worse than just about anybody at the moment. No, thank you. I'll stick with my super chats and my Rumble rants and my PayPals and all of that stuff. Plus, I get people like you and your fat buddy all worked up, and you guys get to go, oh, I bet she's faking his donut. I bet she's faking him. And you guys write fan fiction about me when you're all done. I like it. I like how much of your time I occupy. And you're not going to stop. You fucking can't. You can't quit me, dude. You can't. You'd be done. It'd be over. You cannot fucking quit me. Say it. Say it, bitch. 150 away from tonight. Knock it out. Everybody throw in a couple and we'll get this thing all hammered out and down the road, and another perfect week of evening shows for the toe. Thank you, boys and girls. All right, now we got this Nancy Mace clip. They're really passionate, like on both sides, as this new Congress comes in over pronouns. The pronoun thing is huge. I guess they're doing the first trans person has been elected to Congress, and now Nancy Mace and the Speaker of the House have made a rule that people have to use the bathrooms of the gender they were born. And it's like, it's clearly kind of a little bit of a fuck you to that person coming in. But like now Nancy Mace is going on TV shows and she's defending it. And boy, is she getting people worked up. We're going to play that in just a second. First, Kiff gifting 5 Steel Toe memberships. Wow. Thank you, Kiff. I appreciate that. Alias Unknown with $2 says, is this pre-recorded? Who are you talking to? You'll figure it out. Just stick around. That's all. Doompill says, I hope they execute these warrants while these retards are live for the content. Why? So you can watch that big obese blob not be able to get up out of his chair when they grab him. And he goes, well, I was only kidding. I was only pretending to be searched. It was all a joke. This was all kidding. Anytime something looks bad for me, that's a joke. Anytime anyone else is joking, it's a real statement. I'm not insecure. Oh, you fat queer. Rusty Grammar says, I've given up the low IQ YouTube crowd. They're all fucked in the head. Well, you can't just blame the YouTube crowd. I poke them with a stick constantly. Like throughout the show, I'm always poking them and prodding them and whacking the hornet's nest, and they all lose their fucking minds. Look, if you're mad at the YouTube chat, you kind of have to be mad at me, because I snake charm and tard wrangle these assholes, and I got to be honest, I have fun poking them every once in a while and then moving on. I bet you they're going off right now. Hey, throw in a couple bucks, then I'll see it, you chicken shit. All right, here we go. Nancy Mace talking to Scripps News. Scripps News. Arguing with an anchor about pronouns in Congress. Now, I always thought I'm going to be a little fair to Democrats here. I always thought Republicans were the ones that were saying things like, we have bigger fish to fry, we have bigger things to worry about in this country than pronouns and how many genders there are and this and that. But now one of the first things I hear a Republican arguing with an anchor about is pronouns and bathrooms and shit like that. So I do want to ask the question, is this a little hypocritical, or is it different when Nancy Mace does it? Let's take a look and see just how hot and heated this got. Just a couple of girls tearing at each other's bra straps. That's all it is. Let's take a look.
I just want to add that the Congresswoman-elect does identify as a woman. I will be.
She's not a woman. It's a man. She was born a man. She's a man. She's biologically a male. That is science. You guys on the left and the mainstream media want to say, follow the science. Well, let's follow the science, okay? He is a man. He can wear a dress. He can call himself, his pronouns can be she or her, but he doesn't belong in a women's restroom, period.
I mean, for a Republican, that's pretty open-minded, right? For a Republican, they're like, they can call themselves she, her. They can wear a dress. And Nancy Mace is not wrong. Anybody can call themselves and identify as what they want. There is nothing in the Constitution or even in human decency that says other people have to play along if they believe what you're doing is delusional. You don't have a right to force people to call you whatever you want. You have a right to ask to be called whatever you want. You have a right to call yourself she, her. You have a right to call yourself he, him. You have a right to call yourself non-binary. But you can't force other people to acknowledge that. That's kind of up to them. Now, is Nancy Mace probably being kind of a dick about it? Yeah, probably. But I'm sure, like, in the world she lives in, she hears this shit all the time.
Are you suggesting that the Representative-elect McBride poses some kind of danger to you and other women in Congress?
Absolutely.
I love how the anchor was like, I'm going to ask you a question that you'd be foolish to accept the premise of. And she's like, I fully accept your premise. Now listen, I want to keep going. It's like, this anchor was like, she's going to say no, and I'm going to back her off it here. It's like, nope, you must not know about Nancy Mace.
Absolutely, 100%. This is an assault on women. A man being a biological man, a man with a penis, male genitalia, being in a women's locker room isn't a...
Thanks a lot, Nancy. Now we're all hard and hungry. Sorry, go back.
A man with a penis, male genitalia, being in a women's locker room is an assault on women. And so the question is, do I have rights as a woman or not?
I mean, if I had it my way, I'm sorry to... Well, never. You know what? Not important right now.
And I'm not going to allow the media or Congress to strip away women's rights for 0.5% of people out there that more than likely he's got a mental illness, and this is why he's doing this. He should not be forcing his private parts into women's private spaces. I'm absolutely a no hard pass on this. I'm going to fight it every step.
Again, I've been saying it for like a decade. We could solve this whole thing by just having a dicks and pussies bathroom. You don't have to do it by male or female. You can just go genitalia and off we go. It would be funny if you did that and the biological men who were trans women went, well, no, I'm uncomfortable being in a place with that. It's like, well, now that's how women feel when you want to go into their bathrooms. Why is it okay for you to say something makes you feel uncomfortable, so we should have to change it? But when these women say that they feel uncomfortable and there's way more of them than there are of you, why do we have to change it for you, but we don't have to respect their feelings? I don't get it. It's almost like you people are selfish and don't see past the end of your own nose.
Away.
Are you diagnosing right now an incoming member of Congress with...
Wait, here comes another landmine she's setting down for old Nancy Mace. Get ready for Nancy to just trample all over that landmine and just go, yep, that's exactly what I'm saying. Fuck it.
Are you diagnosing right now an incoming member of Congress with a mental illness? I'm not sure how you would
I am
handle that.
absolutely diagnosing anyone who crosses.
There it is. There she is. Yes, I am. Well, you got to say this. She has no shame.
Diagnosing anyone who cross-dresses with a mental illness. And in fact, by the way, I'm getting death threats from men dressed up as women who want to kill me because I don't want penises in women's bathrooms.
Well, that's where you and I part company. I guess I don't want penises in women's bathrooms, just one of them. Kidding, of course. All right, let's go to Connor. He says, have you ever thought of moving to Utah? No, of course not. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan with $1 says, trans people are literally 0.5% of the population. You people are really Streisand affecting this into an issue. Who gives a fuck? It's all a distraction. See, well, that's kind of where I started with this story. Is I was like, well, now, wait a minute. Aren't you guys saying that you're tired of hearing about this? But now here we're hearing about it. You're talking about it again, you know? Pants Maestro says, Aaron, you're in trouble with Nancy Mace. Juicy. Uh-oh. Do I have to go to the principal's office? Am I going to have to take a paddling? That's no good. 140 away from tonight's goal. Thank you guys very much for your contributions. Keep them going. We got inside a 150 by the top of the hour. If you'd like to continue contributing, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, go ahead and throw in a few bucks. Like I said, we're almost back to a perfect week of evening shows. This is the last one for the week. All right, let's let liberals respond. I think it's only fair. We got a lot of crazies tonight. I got you guys a lot of crazies for this evening's show. We're just going to be rolling through them in the next hour, hopefully hour and a half, because we knock out that $140. You guys have got a great stream of Super Chats and Rumble Rants going. Toss in a few PayPals and Venmos, and we'll have this thing hammered out in no time. This one is Kiff with 199 says, did any of the dolls with balls interest you at gay 90s? I mean, no, I was that was the wrong way to answer that. No, I was trying to think if there were ever any. I mean, I'm sure I saw trans people. I think one trans person was dancing on the bar. They were a worker. They were an employee there. And they were dancing on the bar going into the dancing room, you know, where there's the music and the stage and you can, you know, we did all our dancing there. And, you know, everyone else I was with probably had an excuse. They were probably doing drugs. Here I am, sober as a judge, having a gay old, well, not sober as I was drinking, but like, here I am just having a great time. Like, yeah, I'm not even on any drugs, dude. Just drinking. It's great. I think that makes me more gay than everybody else. Oh, well. It's either that or all that jizz I was eating. Desperation is a stinky cologne, John. Did any of the dolls with balls interest you? Okay. If you can promise that this story stays between you and I did mistake one for a chick once. I mean, they were presenting as a woman. They were identifying as a woman. But I thought it was just straight up cisgendered woman dancing on the thing. It's turns out no. You get a little closer and you realize maybe not. Maybe not. Let's go to this. Thank you, Kiff, for the 199. I do appreciate that. People in the chat just going, oof. Yeah. Surprise. Yeah, someone says surprise. No, it wasn't like that. It's just, you know, some people. It's a compliment. Some people are more convincing of than others. Las Tejas says it tracks, honestly. Yeah, see, you know, those of you who aren't surprised, I don't know if I should thank you or be upset with you. Either way. Let's go to this Jen Rubin clip. So we just watched a Republican get really mad. She was really upset about the trans thing. Now we're going to watch a lefty. She's still really mad that the Republicans won the last election. And she's mad at you, the voters who voted for them, because if you're a voter who voted Republican in this last election and you have children, I bet you didn't know that you just voted for the party that wants to murder your kids. This is what I'm hearing. This woman is about to lay out the plot that she discovered that shows that Republicans want your kids dead. Now, forget that her side was the side of literally killing babies. We're going to hear her plot as to why Republicans want kids dead. That's what it is. What was the old George Carlin line? Republicans want live babies so they can raise them to be dead soldiers. All right, let's give her a shot.
And for people who don't get political news, who never pick up a newspaper, who never turn on CNN,
we call those the sane people,
never even bother with Fox News, those people really have no idea what's going on. And that means we have to bend over backwards.
And you guessed it, a Jew.
Not to suck up to these people.
But if you want to talk about sucking Jew dicks,
not to make excuses for them, but at least to communicate the basic facts.
I am really excited to hear this woman's basic facts. That's an unfortunate pause. I'm sorry about that. I am really interested. Anytime someone is like super biased and angry at the same time and is just coming off a loss, it's always fun to hear what they think the honest facts are. It's usually not spun in their favor whatsoever.
You don't have a vaccine because you're not getting a child tax credit because all the good things that are happening at the state level, they have to know why they're getting those things. Oh, you have a chip manufacturing plant because a Democratic president put that into effect, and a Democratic governor went out and solicited bids.
Weird, because I thought that the company that manufactures the chips decided they needed to build a plant there, and they worked out a deal. I didn't know that it was... Yeah, because when you think of factories and corporate expansion, you sure do think Democratic Party. When you think of Democratic Party, you sure don't think of sky-high taxes and burdensome regulations that encourages businesses to go elsewhere. You think of a business-friendly party.
And now you have X number of thousands of jobs. It's that simple.
Like the Keystone Pipeline, those jobs? Is that what you're talking about? Like the jobs during COVID that you guys shut down, and then when you brought them back, you counted them as added jobs, you fucking cowards?
You can't talk broad themes. You have to boil it down to nuts and bolts, and you have to be pithy.
Well, here's the deal. During the Biden administration, there were plenty of nuts and bolts. It was nuts and bolts. We all got screwed.
I mean by pithy? How about this? Republicans want to kill your kids.
What? Wow. Thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. I'm going to bring that up at the next meeting. I'm going to raise my hand. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to be forceful. I'm going to say what I want, state my case confidently, and I'm going to say, hey, you guys aren't going to kill my kids, you dirty Republicans. And they're going to go, we weren't trying to kill your kids. That's not what Jennifer Rubin says. Jennifer Rubin is a drastically pro-abortion liberal. I know. So at least she's fighting for women. You guys are trying to kill my kids. She literally wants women to kill their babies. Look, guys, now we're getting into semantics.
It's actually true. If you're going to oppose vaccinations, if you're going to stop breakthrough medical research, if you're going to allow minors and all sorts of people to get semi-automatic weapons, which they use to shoot up...
Wait, what? Who... Please name me the political party that wants to put semi-automatic weapons in the hands of children. Outside of Mogadishu, please show me where we're arming children to the teeth. Jesus Christ, don't let these politics rot your brain. They want to give the kids grenade launchers. They want to give them RPGs. When you see a kindergarten class going on a field trip in a Black Hawk helicopter, you'll know that the Republicans are trying to kill your babies.
You're going to allow minors and all sorts of people to get semi-automatic weapons, which they use to shoot up schools. Well, then you are responsible for kids' health and death, unfortunately.
So RFK Jr. wanting to streamline our health system and make our health system a little better. He doesn't care about kids, but the people who have been peddling all the drugs that are making the kids stupid and all of the bad food that's making the kids obese, all of those people, they're fine. RFK Jr., he's the problem.
It has to be that simple and that direct, and it has to be over and over and over again.
Great. We call that gaslighting and brainwashing. Thank you, Jennifer. That's a weird thing to say. The Republicans want to kill your kids. I've always thought that Republicans don't really care about your kids. You know? I thought Republicans were just kind of like, didn't want to talk to your kids, didn't want to know about them. Helgi says, more specifically, in the hands of mentally fucked trans kids with manifestos. Yeah, I saw that today or tomorrow is the National Trans Day of Remembrance. And I saw a bunch of people on Twitter putting up that picture of the trans school shooter, one of them, walking through the halls. And they're like, Happy Trans Day of Remembrance. Pants Maestro says, my 10-year-old is a pretty good shot. Well, congratulations. You just want people to die. She's mad that she can't get a kill streak. Who knew? Typical Democratic projection. Oh, boy. 140 away from getting it done tonight. Everybody throw in. How about a couple of bucks? Let's grease those wheels. The first hour had a lot of little chip-ins coming in. We appreciate that. Let's kick down the door of the PayPal, kick down the door of the Venmo, and let's get this thing all fired up and get that 140 knocked out for this evening. Oh, guys, great news. A new poll came out today. So, we've been watching people bitch and complain and yell and scream about elections and politics. Well, thank God that this company Echelon decided to start a poll. And their poll was about who's going to run for president in 2028 for the Democrats. These Democrats, they've wiped the dirt off of them. They've cleaned themselves up. They've gotten their bearings back from losing that election, and now it's full speed ahead to 2028 where they're gonna win this thing. Well, they've decided that the way they're going to win this thing is with Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris got 41% of the primary polling vote as in this random poll from Echelon. Number 2 was Gavin Newsom at 8%. Josh Shapiro at 7%. Pete Buttigieg at 6%. I hope he runs the country better than he ran airports. Tim Walz at 6%. AOC at 4%. Gretchen Whitmer at 3%. J.B. Pritzker at 2%. Fetterman got 1%. Fetterman even pulled some votes. How about that? Oh, man. Are these the names they're looking at? Kamala, how do you say you want to let Kamala try again after she got her ass kicked? You understand she's the only person to ever lose to Trump in the popular vote. Literally the only person to lose in the popular vote to Donald Trump. And you want to throw her out there next time. Good luck. Good. You know what, guys? Let's stay out of their way. They know what they're doing. Let them cook. Kiff with $1.99. Thank you very much for the contributions. I love those contributions. You guys are the most generous audience out there. Keep them coming. Kiff says, when can we get some toe interviews? Get guests on. We used to do interviews. I think we can. We should start doing that. Your host has just got to talk to people, book them, get them on the show. We can do that. Rusty Grammer with $5 says, happy 13th birthday to Rusty's daughter. If she's listening and too drunk to drive home, I'll come pick you up. Love you. Wait. 13 years old. 13 children with the... they're too drunk to... All right. Look, man, I ain't in charge of your household. You do your thing. 135 away from tonight's goal. Keep going, guys. We're starting to get it down there. 135 is the number, $5 at a time, and we'll get this thing all hammered out. But if you want to drop more, all the links are pinned to the top of the chat. Go ahead and throw in whenever you feel like it. They're talking about Australia in our chat. Las Tejas says, our government promises to keep sacrificing children until we disarm, and we aren't gonna, so... Well, yeah, it's kind of like that Shane Gillis joke where, he swims up to the Australian. He's like, do you know we're number one? They try to bring you down with bullshit like, yeah, what about those school shootings? At least we're not gay. Hold on a second. Let's put it up there. Shane Gillis school shoot. There we go. Here we go. Oh, maybe they don't have it. Oh, here.
Anytime I go to another country, as soon as I get out of the airport and start driving around, I'm just like, dude, this is your fucking country, dude? Other countries suck. Dude. America's number one, dude. It's not even close. It's official. I've been to 3 other countries. It's official. And other countries hate it too. They hate that we're number one. You ever tell them? You ever go to another country and tell them we're number one? Swim up to a pool bar, just... we're number one? They hate it, dude. They try to bring up bullshit to bring us down. What about all the mass shootings you guys have all the time? It's at least we're not gay. There's really not a good comeback to that, because that's a pretty serious problem. And we're the only country doing that. We're not making any adjustments. None. What are we gonna give up our guns like a bunch of fucking gay guys? Yeah, right, dude. No, we're just gonna have shootings all the time.
I think that's kind of what numero uno was driving at. Kiff with another $1.99 says, you had Keemstar on. Send him the link. #Toe Talk. Oh, do you guys You guys want the scuttlebutt on me and Keemstar? I feel like I've told this story. It's an old one now. But, yeah, Keem's not a fan of mine. Keem is not happy with me. Keem asked me to go on the LolCow Live podcast to talk to those guys after Rekieta got arrested. And because I was going on Keno Casino, where I got felted. And then I did Ralph, which was a big mistake. I didn't realize what a fuck up he was. I didn't realize what I had him on our show one time, and he couldn't have been nicer, and he said he was sober and all this other stuff. And he was actually a pretty reasonable dude. But I think what happened was, his lover got popped, and so he was rage pigging over it. So I wouldn't have done that. He's like, oh, it's Keno Casino guys are gay. They fucking suck. They're full of shit. And I'm like, you don't have to shit talk the Keno Casino guys. Ralph wanted the first interview, and I just kind of knew. I was like, Ralph's a fucking joke. I'm not getting, because I was the only one of the four who could give an interview because everyone else had been arrested and was facing felony charges. So everyone wanted to know what was going on, and I'm like, okay. Keno Casino wanted me on. And Ralph wanted me on, and Ralph's like, I asked first. You should have me on first. I'm like, no, I'm going on Keno Casino first. Ralph's a joke. But then also Keem had reached out to me and asked me if I would be on the LolCow Live podcast, and I wanted to be, but I told him I got Keno Casino, I got Ethan Ralph, and then I'll go on your show. And he goes, no, it's going to be over by then. It's not going to be a thing. Little did he know that somebody would just keep cocking a shotgun and shooting themselves right in the fucking foot for 7 months or whatever it's been now. But Keem asked me to do that show, and, I said, well, you're third in line with these guys. And he got pissed that I said he was third in line. He was mad. He didn't take kindly to it. He sent me a big, long message about what an asshole I was being, and then You're never coming on our show. I'll never offer you a spot on our show again. And I'm like, sorry, man. I got to go get felted. I don't know what to tell you. Rostog's Broken Spirit says about half, Rostog's Broken Spirit says, Ralph was angry because you went on Keno Casino first. Well, Ralph doesn't have an audience. You saw that when he came to Minnesota, and the only person he talked to outside was a Steel Toe fan. And he denied the name his daddy gave him when the Steel Toe fan confronted him. He was scared shitless of the toe. And then he talked big shit like he wanted to fight, and then he didn't show up. So I got to win over Ethan Ralph. So Keem was upset about that. It's too bad. And then I wrote to him. I'm like, hey, is there any chance if you guys have a Misfits thing, I've got some amateur boxing experience. I'd love to get a fight. He's like, no, you could have done that. That would have been possible, but you wouldn't go on our show first. And I'm like, sorry, Keem, my bad. I can understand why he was upset, but it was still kind of shitty. But I shouldn't have gone on Ralph's show because A, he was just a fuck up. And B, he's a phony because Ralph is so nice, to your face. When I had him on my show, when he got to be on a show that had an actual audience, he was on his best good little boy behavior, just a little cherub there in Mexico in his tin shack. Oh, I'm sober now. I'm sober. And then by the time I talked to him, he's a fucking train wreck. He's pissed. He was such a little girl about it. He's pissed that I went on Keno Casino first. So he got two of his little yappy little lap dogs to just yell out dumb shit during the interview. And I'm just and I called him out right away. I'm like, I know what you guys are doing. This is not you're not hijacking me. You're not getting me. Ralph isn't exactly Niccolo Machiavelli. So I remember doing that interview and just rolling my eyes and being like, these fucking retards. And then Ralph gets charged with contempt of court, and he thinks I did it. This guy is so fat and so dumb with his tin shack with his piss bottles in it where he breaks his chairs. This guy is so stupid. He thinks that I can issue contempt of court citations. Ethan Ralph thinks that I go, hey, Your Honor, you should totally charge this guy with contempt of court. And the judge goes, you know what? You're right. guy here pleading not guilty to his charges. I should definitely take legal advice from you. So ordered. Go get that fat pig. Suey. It's not how contempt of court goes, you fucking dipshit. Kiff with 199 says Keem fumbled the bag. Another win for the toe. I think Keem's doing just fine. I think Keem's doing all right. I get why Keem was upset. Like, he wanted the interview first. He felt like I should go on their show. But Keno Casino's got a big show, man. He really does. Doompill says his top two capos are Godwinson and Persip. I didn't even remember their fucking names. If they've ever drawn a viewer, I would have remembered. He says a cokehead and a literal gay person. Oh. That's what you got, huh? Let's go to, yes, Dead Game says, Marshall's saddle up. Do you know that Ralph can't come back into the country because he's a fucking moron? He was trying to get April to help him. He's like, April, you need to help me because your ex-husband won't let me come home for Christmas to see my boy. I can't see my boy because of your ex-husband. He's crying to her on Twitter. And April's so fucking fried. You remember the tweets she was putting out there. She doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. So he's like, hey, this man won't let me see my boy on Christmas. And I'm like, motherfucker, I didn't have anything to do with it. Like, Ethan Ralph is the guy who steps on a rake and hits himself in the face and blames the fucking rake, not the retard who stepped in it. So he's got a warrant now. If he tries to cross the border, they'll send Stearns County Police to come arrest him and bring him back to Minnesota to face the contempt of court charge. So Ralph blames me. Dude, I got three retards right now. Four retards blaming me for the problems they created. And I don't know what to tell you. Maybe if you looked up to me a little bit and maybe followed my lead, all of you, maybe you wouldn't be in such deep shit. You know? Maybe instead of being mad and bitter and angry like a jilted lover or a spoiled little boy, maybe you could have asked me for advice. Well, I mean, I gave you advice, but you never took it. But that would probably be the better way to go, baby boy. Let's go to, they're all shitting on Ralph now. Oh boy. He's working on a spray tan as we speak. Yeah, he's gonna go. We're gonna get Ralph undercover. Like, he's gonna be in a big poncho and a sombrero, and he's gonna have maracas. He's gonna Godwinson and his other stooge are gonna form a mariachi band, and they're gonna try to dance across the border. Oh, follow the shaking pig tits. Bigot on Socialist Media says, are their viewers gassing them up, making them think it's your fault? Probably. That's kind of funny, though. Think about it. Let's go to numero uno Josh Denny fan. He says, best possible interview get. Oh, okay. $1 from numero uno Josh Denny fan says, you got enough tards to fill one of those rooms you're always talking about shutting them in. Well, some of them might be in a little room one of these days, if you catch my drift. Funeral director with $2 says, your hair looks thicker using minoxidil. Hashtag hairy toe. No, unfortunately, I'm every bit as bald as I was this morning. Sorry, bud. Maybe my hair's growing out. That might be it. All right, guys, we got about a half hour left until it's can rattling time. We're $130 away from tonight's goal. If you feel like chipping in, nothing in PayPal or Venmo yet. If you'd like to throw in there, please do. Again, $130 is the number for tonight, and it is our final evening show goal of the week. So do me a favor. How about some 10s and 20s? How about some big drops? And we'll do a little rally here, and we'll get it all knocked out. Get it all taken care of. Let's click on numero uno Josh Denny fans submission. He says this is the best interview get possible. Okay. Hi, NLO. If you are or were a closeted gay man, what's the story with your former girlfriend, Stephanie Burns? Who's Stephanie Burns? I don't know who that is. Is there a story there? You got to remember, Melton comes up with like fan fiction on my life. He lives vicariously through me every day of his life. It's adorable. I don't know anything about him. And nobody should. Like, there's no reason. Basically, the only thing he's known for is talking, like living vicariously through me. And again, I'm sorry if that hurts any of your feelings. I know it does. Sorry. My Lost Interest already has a clip of Chad Zumach points out that Gustav is super chatting Steel Toe. Aaron Imholt responds. Oh, nice. Gray Duckling with $5 says for Aaron's Rogaine. Thank you, buddy. 125 away from tonight. Keep it going, guys. Little rally, and we'll have this all taken care of. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan says it's Melton's former girlfriend. What do you mean, who is she? Well, I mean, like, what's her story? I feel like you're insinuating that she's got, like, dirt or something. I don't really care to dig up dirt on the guy. Like I said, the guy's self-destructive. He's already fucked himself over. Like, he can't help himself. He'll never be me. He'll never be able to do a show. I think there's a lot of jealousy in there. I think there's a lot of bitterness that I came off of the radio and right away we were able to, keep our life going, keep our show going. And he's been digging in the dirt for 20 years as a nobody. And now I think I think a lot of that hostility and that projection that he has, I think a lot of that is him knowing that without me, he's dog shit. He's nothing. And I think people are starting to tell him that on the internet now, and he's not handling it well. But again, it's only a surprise to you guys. I told you this was going to happen to him when he started with me. Let's see what my Lost Interest clip is. It's just me. Okay. I thought he maybe had like the original Chad clip. What is my Lost Interest doing nowadays with his videos? Who's he talking about? Oh, Stuttering John. Stuttering John. Are we really talking about who is Penis Wrinkle? There's a whole thing of people. There's a whole thing called a penis wrinkle thing. Like, there's a whole saga that this My Lost Interest has. That's just Penis Wrinkle. Who is Penis Wrinkle? Is this guy Penis Wrinkle? Who the fuck is Penis Wrinkle? Ray DeVito distancing himself from the Dabbleverse so it doesn't hurt his stand-up career. You guys in your fucking Dabbleverse. It's insane. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan says, what are you guys, a bunch of tards and darkies? Throw in some money. I didn't say tards and darkies. But yes, I will say throw in that 125 and let's call it a win for the toe. Bigot on Socialist Media says, who gives themselves a chat handle like Penis Wrinkle? Well, dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Penis Wrinkle is a funny name. But I think obsessing and trying to find out who Penis Wrinkle is, I mean, I would call it an exercise in futility, but who am I to judge the free time of others, right? You guys get to do what you want to do. And if you want to be internet sleuths and you want to try to figure out who Penis Wrinkle is, I wish you the best. I wish you the best in finding out the identity of one Penis Wrinkle. All right, what's next? Oh, The View. Yes, I love The View. You guys may hate it. You may think they're all a bunch of stupid bitches. That is totally fine. I get it. I understand. However, watching them fuck up, watching them fight with each other, watching them just lose their shit is, dude, it's my favorite thing. I don't know why I like it so. Well, I know why I like it. It's like I said earlier, it's Schadenfreude. I love watching The View because like their whole thing is like they want to own the Trump people and they wanted to get Kamala Harris elected and like they try to get they try to back out of the driveway ideologically and they're just hitting garbage cans. Like they're like, yeah, we're going to move as one and fuck Trump and this and that. And it always blows up into them fighting with each other. Especially since Trump won, they can't agree on why Trump won and Kamala lost. Is it racism? Is it sexism? Is it the economy? Is it white? Is it black? Is it Mexican? Who the fuck knows? Well, I guess Sunny Hostin went off on what's his name, Matt Gaetz. And her going off on Matt Gaetz caused ABC to write up a speech, a clarification that she had to give, because apparently Sunny Hostin went off the reservation and said some actionable shit about our potential future attorney general. Let's go ahead and watch this clip. They came back from a commercial break, and Sunny Hostin had to grab some pedals and spin them backwards.
How could you nominate someone with allegations of child trafficking trafficking across state lines and having sex with a 17-year-old? My understanding, further on in the interview, they discussed the fact that once he finds out that she's 17, he stops having sex with her.
Sonny.
Oh, see now, when she said he's accused or there's allegations of, she was fine there. When she said he found out she was 17 and then he stopped having sex with her, blah, 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 that's her saying that he did something. That's the part where ABC went, oh, God damn it. And this is what they made her do 3 minutes later.
Sonny, you have a legal note.
I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
Oh.
We'll be right back.
Oh, I believe the Keno boys would say felted. Oh. See, because they're confusing they're confusing the DOJ investigation into criminal behavior, which they came back with nothing. They're confusing that with the House Ethics Committee, which investigated him. That's not, the House Ethics Committee doesn't come out and say you're charged with this crime. They find out if they're going to kick you out of the House of Representatives or if you're going to be censured or anything like that. But having to go on this rant about Matt Gaetz and then having to walk it back right after the commercial. And not only that, having your coworkers force you to do it. Having your coworkers go, Sonny, you have a legal note? Yes, I have a legal note. Matt Gaetz didn't R-word a kid, as far as we know. Fuck. Not happy about that. Mr. Beat says she did not want to say that. Oh, not at all. Lost Chaos Synthesizer says Matt Gaetz got honeypotted, but he noped out. Is that the story? That they tried to get him to sleep with a 17-year-old? And, well, I mean, that's not uncommon in politics. I think a lot of times when people gain power, I do believe that intelligence agencies and special interests try to, they hook you up with pussy and then afterward tell you that they're underage and then say, now you're going to vote for everything we want you to vote for. You belong to us now. That's what the Epstein thing was all about. The Epstein thing was all about getting powerful people in compromised positions so you can blackmail them. That's what it is. Lost Chaos Synthesizer says the allegation is that he was insider. She told him she was only 17 and he noped the fuck out. Oh, is that what happened? Okay. But are you still I don't know though. Are you still breaking the law if you do it and you don't it's not usually an excuse to say you didn't know they were. I mean, I guess maybe if they lie to you, I don't know. Here's my general rule of thumb. Don't fuck anyone who looks that young. If it's close enough where you have to ask for ID, go with someone older. Don't go with the one where you're like, oh, yeah, I bet your 18th birthday was last week. No. Just go find somebody. It sounds cliche, but find somebody your own age. Huh? Find somebody your own age. Aaron's Box says Moody thought it was funny to say as far as age of consent goes, if they're crawling, they're in the right position. Yeah, somebody should inform the place where he works with kids that they've got a fucking pervert a really problematic dude. I mean, this is a guy who creates AI voices of children so Melton's listeners can make them say sexual things. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, not only are they not talented, but if you associate in any way with people like that, you're guilty. I'm sorry. You're human garbage too. And the worst thing is if you associate with people like that just because you don't like me, or in Carl's case, you have to grift off me and you really don't have an issue with me, you're guilty too. You're human garbage as well. You can't wash that off you. You can't. And unfortunately, a lot of these people get so heavy in their hate of me that they back themselves into a corner and now they feel like, well, I can't really confront Aaron on my own. So I got to have a team around me. And if my team turns out to be a bunch of pedo adjacent people, I guess I got to stick with my team. Oh, man. Thank you guys very much for all that. I appreciate it. So Sunny hosting. Now, also, I think today on The View, Sunny Hostin and Alyssa Griffin got into it about schools, and Whoopi had to break them up again. She had to go to commercial break. Those girls are having a rough go of it, man. They are not handling this election very well. It is not going well. 125 away from today's goal. Hey, everybody, do me a favor. Nothing in the PayPal, nothing in the Venmo tonight. What do you say somebody go ahead and cracks that thing open, throws a few bucks in there, and we get this 125 hammered out? Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. I say, let's go on a rally right now and knock this thing out. Otherwise, 15 minutes from now, I'll rattle the cans. We'll beg a little bit. We'll see if we can make our money and make it a successful night of Steel Toe. This one's gonna frustrate the shit out of you. This makes me feel like young kids aren't gonna get to have the childhood that we had. And like baby boomers always used to say, oh, you kids today, you don't get to have the freedom and the childhood that we had. So maybe this is like a generational thing, but also maybe this really is us becoming giant fucking pussies. A woman in Georgia has been arrested because she let her 10-year-old son walk to a store less than a mile from his house. I want to see, I don't want to do a not the be version of this. I want to see if we can find mom, 10-year-old Georgia. Here we go. There's got to be here it is, local story. Perfect.
The story that's going to have everyone talking. The mother arrested after police say they spotted her son walking to town by himself. She's now facing charges, and ABC's Jacqueline Lee is following this story. Good morning, Jacqueline. An unbelievable story. What happened here? So many people, especially mothers, are going to be looking at this.
Bro, like we used to take my friends and I used to bike through the woods to a convenience store like a mile or so away from our house. And we would get Dr. Peppers and Airheads. And we'd go sit in the woods in the open space where this bike trail was. And we just sit and eat them and drink them and like trade sports cards and shit. And that was my 20s. No, that
Oh, absolutely, Gio. Good morning. This mom says her son went on a 15 to 20-minute walk to the store. As a result, she was arrested, fingerprints and mugshots taken, and she faces potential jail time. She says she did nothing wrong.
Turn around for me. Why? Because you're under arrest.
This morning, the shocking arrest
you
of a...
can't arrest her. She's not ugly. She's too pretty to get arrested. Arrest a fat, ugly mom, not a cute one. Fuck.
Georgia mother after her 10-year-old son walked to the store by himself.
What am I under arrest for? For reckless endangerment.
You can see the moment right here on police body camera. Brittany Patterson put into handcuffs by sheriff's deputies at the end of October.
Wait, now what? What about when her son comes home from the store? Oh, they probably picked the kid up too. Kids walk into the store to get some shit and the cops just pick him up. That is the weirdest thing ever. Cops go, we got to help you, kid. He's like, I'm fine. I'm just walking to the store. I do this all the time. No, let us save you and help you. You don't. I'm literally just walking. There's a sidewalk. There's a path. I'm just walking to the store to get some shit. No, you have to let us help you, son. Why? Because we arrested your mom. She's not going to be there. What the fuck did you arrest my mom for? She's clearly endangering you recklessly. Getting some milk, homie.
In rural Mineral Bluff, Georgia.
I didn't really even know what I was being arrested for. I had to ask.
Being too pretty.
According to a Fannin County Sheriff's Office report, her son Soren, who has since turned 11, walked less than a mile into town to go to the Dollar General while Patterson took one of her children to the doctor. Authorities discovered him walking alone after getting a call from a concerned resident.
Oh, what an asshole. So some looky-loo, some nosy fucker sees a kid walking by himself. And how sad of a commentary is that on the world we live in, that just seeing a 10-year-old walk to a store is somehow now something to be alarmed about. God damn, man. How is America both like too stupid and also like too nosy at the same time? Usually you're stupid and aloof and you just miss everything. But we're stupid and we're also busybodies. It's obnoxious.
Officials then dropped him off at home, according to the report.
He knows how to get home. He knows how to get there. So again, I wasn't.
She's got like a Tulsi Gabbard vibe going. By the way, thank you, Stavi, for $5. Says, don't be a cheapskate. Donate. That's what I say. Everybody throw in a few bucks and let's get a goal knocked out tonight. Thank you, Stave.
Concerned for his safety.
But 5 hours later, Patterson was arrested on suspicion of reckless conduct, which carries up to a year in jail.
Even looks cute in her mugshot. I had a nice little come hither smile in my mugshot too. Maybe her and I, well, you know what? We'll let her get through her shit.
In jail.
Last time I checked, it wasn't illegal for a kid to walk to the store. So.
It is when they're 10 years old.
Her arrest warrant.
Since when? I hope this is one of those stories where there's like enough phone calls and tweets and Facebook posts and shit like that where the town is like, yeah, no, this ain't worth doing. There's going to be camera crews and everyone's going to be shitting on us and calling us gay. No, thank you.
Claiming she willingly and knowingly did endanger the bodily safety of her juvenile son. Her attorney disputes this.
Our criminal justice system is built on the fact that you did something criminally negligent. So what is it she did?
Yeah, it's not like she sold him to Venezuelan traffickers or Melton. Like she fucking let him go to Dollar General.
We spoke with the sheriff's office as well as Patterson and her attorney, who say the charges are not dropped. She is out on bail and waiting to be indicted. Now, a good rule of thumb for parents, of course, is check your state law for when a child can stay home alone. Whit.
All right, Jack.
And then find out the people who passed the law that said you can't let your 10-year-old walk to the store, and vote those people out as soon as possible. I believe that would be the next piece of advice that you would give. Oh my God. 120 away from tonight's goal. 10 minutes until we got to rattle the cans and see if we can knock out this evening. Again, if you feel like chipping in, now would be the time. Let's go ahead and get that hammered out. Let's call it a win. Let's add 30 minutes of overtime up onto the clock and see if we can do this thing, guys. Again, nothing in the PayPal, nothing in the Venmo tonight, so that's wide open. Go ahead and throw in. I appreciate that you guys have got us to where we are with those small donations. I like that, a little bit at a time. That's great, but now it's time for the big ones to knock out this 120 before we rattle the cans. Please and thank you. Dana White. No, I'm sorry, not Dana White. A UFC fighter, David Onama, is apparently now been lumped into this controversy around this country singer, Zach Bryan. Do you know what he's going through? Zach Bryan broke up with Brianna LaPaglia, Chicken Fry LaPaglia from Barstool Sports. And since then, she's alleged that he's been emotionally abusive towards her. Now, look, I've had someone fuck up their life and then cry to people that, oh, no, it's not me. I didn't fuck up my life. Oh, no, abuse. And they went, nope, there's no proof. There's none. There's no evidence. It's just, so I'm not a believe all women guy because I've personally been involved with ones who lie their fucking balls off. So that's not, and always to protect themselves. And there's also the jilted lover thing. Like, I've had breakups where I've been like, yeah, they were this and they were that. And really, I'm just fucking bitter. So I don't know, man. You got this this boyfriend, and he's verbally abusive, emotionally abusive. Here's the thing, though, with women. Women can pick fights with guys, and the guy can stand up for themselves, and the women will convince themselves that they were emotionally abused. Also, if they meet other guys, that guy is so excited to white knight for them that he'll go, oh, God, you are totally emotionally abused. I believe it, and I'm here for you. I would never do that. And then the first fight they get in, God, you're such a stupid bitch. And she's like, you're abusing me too. So I don't know. There are women who are emotionally abused. But, whenever it's right after a nasty breakup, I'm sorry, it looks more like sour grapes than anything else. When you break up with someone and then you go, oh, yeah, you wouldn't believe what a monster he was. First of all, that's the private conversations that every guy and gal who's in a bitter breakup ends up saying. Everybody tries to out-victim the other one after a nasty breakup. It's probably happened to everybody. Dead Game says checks out. I agree. Nobody that should have children names their spawn Zach. Well, now there's something wrong with the name Zach. But I don't know. It's all just a big he said, she said thing. And now apparently this fighter, David Onema, has been roped into the whole thing because he was on a podcast this week and he name dropped Zach Bryan. LaPaglia had been in attendance for UFC 309. And during an appearance on SiriusXM's Fight Nation podcast, Onema was asked if he was a fan of Bryan since he had seemingly shouted out the singer out of nowhere during his post-fight interview with Joe Rogan. To be honest, I didn't know who Zach Bryan was, Onema said after telling the hosts that someone had reached out to his management and explained that Bryan wanted Onema to give him a shout-out. What? See, now I don't believe him either. This sounds like he found out about this little tiff that these two were having. And he was like, oh, shit, I shouted out that Zach Bryan. I'm going to walk it back a little bit. And if he's telling the truth and he was asked to do a shit, don't just shout someone out. If someone comes up to you and goes, hey, this country singer wants to shout you out, and you're like, I have no idea who that is, but fuck it, I'll do it. I mean, don't you want to look up to see if there's anything you find out about the guy that's detestable? The host then described it as a promo for Bryan, which Onema agreed with. The clip started blowing up after Barstool founder Dave Portnoy seized on it in order to rail against the smallest man who has become enemy number one at Barstool since the split between LaPaglia and Bryan. See, I feel if, you don't know shit about it, probably should keep it shut. Like, if you're Portnoy and just go, look, I don't know what happened. I'm not sure, but it seems like these two do not like each other. Onema got comped tickets to a concert. The comment that kicked off the controversy was when Onema told Reagan that he would be back next month to see Bryan at the Barclays Center. So, I don't know. I'm not sure. Here's what LaPaglia accused him of. Bryan had allegedly screamed at her friends and broke glass while demeaning them during her birthday. He stood up at the fire and just started screaming at my friends, saying, you're not going to be anything. You're a fucking loser. Like, just the most horrible shit. You're never going to make it. You live off other people. Really? That's some drunk hillbilly yelling that at your friends is emotionally abusive? I mean, if he did that, he's a fucking asshole. That's a dick thing to do, and it kind of kills the vibe of a party, but bro, you'd better do better than that. I mean, Jesus. Numero uno, McBuster says, no more borderline personality disorder ladies for me. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan says, Trump should appoint Zach Bryan to his government. Then everyone will say the whole thing is a deep state smear campaign and let him do what he wants. Well, I mean, if tarting out at a bonfire at your girlfriend's friends is now the bar for abuse, I mean, Jesus. He sounds like a dick. I can understand that like a pretty boy country singer would be a fucking asshole. I believe that, but I don't know. That's just what it smacks of to me is two people had a nasty breakup. It didn't go well, and they fucking hate each other. And the best thing to do when that happens is just get the fuck out of their way. They'll work through it eventually. All right, guys, we got 7 minutes until we've got to wrap up tonight's show, or we knock out $120 and we call it another win for the toe. So let's throw into Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. We got a lot of stories left to cover and a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Let's keep her going. We'll go till 9:30. Don't let the morning show pick up your scraps and get extra overtime for them. That would be bullshit. 120 away from tonight. Let's knock it out. However you can throw in a couple of bucks to the toe, throw in a couple bucks to the toe. Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, Venmo. This is the only show we've done this week. Actually, the only show in months, I would say, where nothing's come in on PayPal or Venmo. It's all been small orders on Rumble and YouTube, and we appreciate that. But now we need to really drop the hammer, and we need to knock this thing out. So if you're feeling generous tonight, please, by all means, drop us a few bucks, and let's call it another win for the toe. 5.5 minutes left to go. I appreciate everybody that's contributed to tonight's program. I would really love to do overtime tonight. We are very close to having a perfect week of evening shows. You guys have been crushing it for us lately. You've been incredibly generous. And again, we're asking you for the last time this week on the evening shows. We got this one. We got tomorrow morning. Then we're going to have some fun on Friday. So, numero uno, Josh Denny fan says, send money, you queers. I mean, I would ask nicer than that. I would say that you guys are a wonderful audience who's kept us on the air and all of that stuff for the last 4 years. But, I mean, if send money, you queers is something you respond to better, then, takes all kinds. 5 minutes to go. This is our rally. We need to knock out this 120 to keep ourselves, on the up and up. So we're running out of time. Nothing so far in the rally. We have been shut out. 0. Made about $50 tonight is what it looks like. The morning show audience did get you guys, I think, $30 in to start the program. So let's see if we can make a good showing of ourselves. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, there's no percentages taken off of that. Triple N says, how's the begging going? You're seeing it, buddy. Not very well. The begging is not going great at the moment. We need some pity cash if we're going to get our final goal of the evening show week locked up. 120 is the number, and it is not moving. We are 4 minutes away. 4 minutes away. Doompill says, every dollar you send is another year added on to Ricada's sentence. Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't know what's going to work tonight. It's just, it's possible that it was just an uninspired show, that we kind of slept walk our way through it. I felt like it was good. I felt like we had a good time together tonight, but the audience is the one that pays the bills. The audience is the one that decides. That's what I say. So throw in. Let's see if we can knock it out and hammer out this 120 that we've got left, and we will stay on and do another half hour for you. Otherwise, we will tap out at 9. I did a free overtime last night, and it paid off, and you guys made it go, and I appreciate that. But we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to see if we can make a little bit of money tonight. We're going to see if we can make a couple of bucks. If not, you guys have been incredible. You guys knock out every goal that we ask you for. You guys have gotten us back to profitability, and holy shit, do I appreciate that. So if we fall on our face tonight, we fall on our face tonight. We pick ourselves up. We come back tomorrow. 3 minutes away. Let's see if we can do something, guys. We've done $0 during our rally so far tonight. This is it's definitely been one of our lowest nights that we've ever done. But If you've got a little pity in your heart for the old toe, let's see if we can hammer it out in the next 2.5 minutes. I mean, really just $5-10 at a time, guys. It'll get it hammered out. Let's throw in. Let's get this done. And hopefully we can, hopefully I don't leave early tonight. 2 minutes left. We've been shut out in the rally segment tonight. I'm sweating. I'm sweating. Well, we might fail tonight. Hopefully the morning show audience picks us up. And, maybe the evening show audience picks us up still. Maybe you guys still have a trick up your sleeve. But it looks like tonight's a struggle. Looks like we're not going to make it tonight. I appreciate anyone who can throw in a couple, but this is kind of the passing the hat around. And if we pass the hat around and people go, wasn't a good show tonight, then, and they don't throw in. That's the way it goes. $1 from numero uno Josh Denny fan. He says, put on your pointy hat and let's rally, you pores. Well, looks like we're not. I don't want to lean in too much because we've done $0. So if I lean in, it's going to look really fucking pathetic. If the round. So we'll just kind of kill time here for the next minute, and I'll lick my wounds. We'll call it a loss, and hopefully we can pick it up tomorrow. That sucks, man. I really thought I did a good job for you tonight. But you can do a good, you know what? You can do a good job and people can be like, yeah, not that good though. You can go. But basically this is me being dismissed. Like, you can go. 120, but like $50, that's all you're worth tonight. If you feel like throwing in at any point throughout the evening, if you're watching this later, Streamlabs, PayPal, Rumble Rants, the links are in the chat. Go ahead and throw in a few bucks. Wow, we got shut out in the rally. Ooh. Positive steel toe. We're not going negative. We're going to be fine. We appreciate you guys. You're not going to make me turn negative. Look, getting shut out, this never happens. This is a bad look. This sucks, but we're going to bounce back stronger tomorrow. Thank you, numero uno. Josh Denny fan says, come on, Toe, get mad at that goal. Not going to do it. I'm going to leave with a smile today. I've been blessed to be able to do this show as long as I have. And look, it's one miss. It's a big one. It's a hard one. Shut up. I didn't say that. But we'll bounce back tomorrow, man. We'll bounce back tomorrow. What do you say? Missed by 120. Yikes. Didn't make a fucking dime during the rally. All right, Gordy, I'll let you out, bud. Don't worry. Take it easy, guys. Have a great rest of your night. Oof. This is an oof. This is an L for the toe. That's for sure. Take it easy.